One of the largest arguments is about whether or not Britain has made any decisions about laws in the EU. People say that we don't get our vote in, and that is simply not true. The European Court of Justice makes decisions that all countries will follow. A misconception of this is that Britain is the only one who has to follow these specific rules just set for us, which is simply not true. The EGC ensures that all laws apply the same way in each country. This is to allow trading to run as smoothly as possible, so that when businesses want to travel across country, there will be no contradicting laws or restrictions, so it will be a simple show of the passport situation, so traders can continue with their deals without hassle. Simple, right? Let's use a cup of tea to explain everything in this referendum. So if we make a statement to the EU claiming that we should all be drinking tea, that will go into the European Court of Justice, in which will begin discussion. Then Germany court will say, well, I want to drink coffee. Debate will begin, with agreement or disagreement. Then France will jump in with their own point of view and say, well, I want to drink hot chocolate. Even though all of these countries have been given a law to pass, there has to be compromises, so that everyone can get a piece of what they want in. So the European Court of Justice says, why don't we just drink the milk that is in all of these hot beverages? Though not everyone will be getting exactly what they want, but it's enough to make things progress. So even though you hear a lot about Britain never gets their laws passed through, this is because no country does. It's all compromised for the betterment of a single trade market. Without it, we would have traffic jams after traffic jams at border controls, making sure that you're following the correct law to pass through a single country until you get to the next one, and it will be too time consuming to trade. Now this is a quick video compressing all of my arguments and my stance on the EU referendum. Most people will come onto this video with their minds already made up and not even watch the whole video with an open mind. That being said, I just wanted to make my opinions open to the public, since I did begin this journey as unbiased and non-bigoted as possible, focusing only on the facts and statistics. Boris Johnson claims that 350 million a week goes out to EU, but that amount has been disproven on multiple accounts. It's true that we do pay, just like a club, but all EU members have to pay to remain a part of the union. That's only a part of the deal. We're not the only ones. That 350 million though is actually less than half the amount he claims, which the real cost is about 190 million, which if you consider the amount we get partial in refund. We can pretend to know what's going to happen to our NHS, but nobody can truly know if we go independent. One thing for sure that we know is that if we remain in the union, at least we can be confident that the economy won't suffer as much as it would leaving, since the 57% of trade I just spoke about. So it's obvious to say that the best choice to keep the NHS is to go remain.
If you go hospital, they will look after you.
Will they provide translators?
I think they will.
It's a fair point, isn't it, that British people are living in other countries and you get the same healthcare as there is in that country.
But this is trivial and husk of an argument anyway, since even if we did vote to leave, we would still have to negotiate trade with the EU and pay 190 million, if not more if they even consider agreeing to let us trade with them again. As Professor Michael Duggan, who spent his entire career studying the EU law from the University of Liverpool Law School, said, the whole point of a single market is to overcome the regulatory barriers. As long as you manufacture goods and services in one member state, I can provide and sell them in another member state without any further regulation, and that is the unique achievement of the single market. If we leave, we have to work outside of the EU and the single market, which if you didn't know, 57% of our trade comes from the single market. So if we leave, it would take us 8 to 10 years to get that back, if not longer. The European isn't perfect, that much is clear, but EGC is doing its best to make everyone happy.
To stay in the single market. I'm in favour of the single market. I want us to be able to trade freely with our European friends and partners.
The benefits of being in the single market have been wildly overstated, and it's striking that countries outside the EU have actually done better at exporting into the EU than we have. And I think it is a delusion to think that we can somehow gain greater prosperity by bartering away our freedom and our democracy.
All I'm saying for this video is to keep an open mind. Take in the points I'm making, but don't make your decision just on this single source. Make an independent choice on the outcome of the videos you're about to see. In saying that, I've left 3 different sources, both pro-Brexit and pro-Remain, for you to look into. Brexit just basically means British exit. Now since I'm counting this one as a single source of pro-Remain, I'll add an extra source of Brexit just in case. Just remember to keep an open mind. But what do I bloody know, I'm just a gaming YouTuber.
A lot of people seem to be kind of harking back to a bygone era, this idea of Britain that they'd lost, pinning a lot of hope on the idea that if they vote out, something magical might suddenly change. But I suspect that whatever way Britain votes on June the 23rd, there's going to be a question here that will not be settled.
But what do I bloody know? I'm just a gaming YouTuber.